everyone thinks that, if I have this car, I'm going to be happy. It's not getting the car that makes you happy. It is the pursuit of getting the car that makes you happy. It's the pursuit of making $1 million. It's a pursuit. Because once
Like
you get
I can
there,
do it. I know I can do it.
Once you get there, you're like,
You got to find yourself a new goal now. Can I say one thing? This is we didn't even start this episode yet, but it works perfectly with what we're going to be talking about because this topic brings me joy. Did you ever hear the famous line from Matthew McConaughey that he gave at the Oscars, where he said, "Someone came up to me and asked me who my hero is," and he stopped for a second. He says, "My hero is me in 15 years from now." And then in 15 years, he was asked again by the same kid and said, "So who's your hero now?" He's like, "Well, it's me in 15 more years from now." So the whole point is, I'm always chasing what I want to be. I'm always chasing the next thing. So that's why what you just said makes perfect sense, because if you've accomplished, let's say you want to be the CEO of a company, you worked hard, you climbed the ladder, you got CEO, and then all of a sudden you're CEO. Now what?
Listen, I think at the end of the day here, I was listening to one other guy and he talks a lot about God and stuff. And he says, my hero is me 10 years ago. And the reason why that is because 10 years ago. And the reason being is because he never gave up. He kept on going.
We're talking about you, right?
So for me, who my hero would be? No, I'm just talking about this guy. I was listening to this guy's podcast, and he was saying how his hero was him 10 years ago.
Kind of like what I just said.
Right, but 10 years
But
ago,
I went
not
forward,
10 years
not
from
back.
now,
Yeah.
because 10 years ago, this kid never gave up. He said, "You never gave up on me. You kept on going. You put me where I am today."
But now he doesn't have any more ambitions then.
Well, it's not necessarily true. What he's saying is that's his hero today. So if you think about it, if you ask me that question 10 years from now, my hero would probably be myself again for, getting in the grind, keep on going, didn't give up, went through the hard times, pushed through the traumas and the challenges and all that kind of stuff. I think at the end of the day here, and we're going to talk about this now, is
well, I'm going to pause you right there. The whole point of this episode is focusing on what brings you joy. But before we do that, you got to focus on that camera and you got to give me your intro in 3, 2, 1.
I thought I did this already.
Nope.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Integrity Project. I'm Roy Coachel, your host. And again, here with Stefano, my producer, and my co-host. He always gets me off track, but here we are. And this episode's going to be focused on what brings you joy.
And you know what? You bring me joy, Roy. So now tell me, what focus? So what do we have to focus on to bring us joy?
Energy grows where attention goes. Most people focus on what frustrates them, what disappoints them, what went wrong. And then they wonder why life feels heavy. What you focus on expands. So what are you feeding? Focus on the people who energize you, the places that make you breathe deeper, the goals that light you up. Joy is not childish. Joy is guidance. It tells you where alignment lives. Love, authenticity, pride, gratitude, these are not soft emotions. They are creative forces. When you operate from love instead of fear, your decisions shift. When you lead from authenticity instead of approval, your relationships deepen. When you feel pride in your effort, discipline becomes easier. When you practice gratitude, you stop chasing and start appreciating. Beautiful things grow in healthy soil, and your emotional state is the soil. Be intentional about your environment. Who are you around? What conversations are you feeding? What goals are you chasing and why? If goals drain your spirit, it's not aligned. If your relationship requires you to shrink, it's not aligned. If a place makes you anxious every time you enter it, it's not aligned. Choose differently, because the energy of love multiplies. The energy of gratitude attracts. You don't force beautiful things to grow. You cultivate conditions where they can. Focus on what brings you joy and let that joy become your compass. Whew. Thank you very much.
That's the episode. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. So listen, I'm going to say this. This is going to be a heated debate that a lot of people might look at and say, well, Roy, I like buying my Gucci purse. I like materialistic things. I like seeing my closet full of clothes that I'll never wear. It brings me temporary joy. Now, for me, I like peace. I like to be surrounded by good people. I like to know that when I wake up in the morning, I go to work, I work with people like you. That's my joy in life. Because I've already done the whole buy a car, buy clothes, and all that. And I'm no better than, actually, I might even be worse than where I was before that. So, what about you, Roy? What brings you joy, sincerely?
Well, first of all, my podcast brings me joy. That's why I do it.
Huh.
It brings me joy to spend time with people I love.
Me.
You, my wife, my children bring me joy. My good friends bring me joy. I think at the end here, you can find joy in a lot of places, but the problem you run into with most people is they focus on, let's say, for example, you're out with 10 of your friends and one guy's an asshole, right? What do you all talk about? You don't talk about the 9 guys that are cool and you're having a good time. You all focus on your energy
One
of that
asshole.
guy that just irritates the shit out of
Yep.
everybody. And that's what everybody talks to. And that one person takes the energy of everybody else and brings them down.
Yeah.
Well, if you focus on the joy of the relationships that bring you joy, then that person doesn't no longer matters.
That's hard, though. Because that negative energy is double positive energy.
You know what? It's not hard. It's only hard because what happens is you can't have joy, right? Because that person is there. You're letting that person affect where you send your energy. You have a choice. I can either pay attention to him and talk to him and get irritated by him, or you know what? I can focus on the people that actually make me laugh. Not every person you're going to go into a room is going to energize you, but you have a choice. You have a choice where you put your energy and how you show up. And maybe, you know what, that guy's a bit, or that person's a little bit harsh because they have their own little wounds. Maybe they don't feel worthy of their friendships. Maybe it's because of the 10 friends, he's the one that's least successful, or that maybe he's having a problem at home with his wife. Maybe he's being a bit of a dick because his wife doesn't like him being out with his friends.
Well, can I ask you something? Is this guy a part of your friends group, or is he just some random guy?
Listen, everybody has his friends groups, and there's always that one guy.
But he's still part of your friends group.
Because he's friends with other people there.
Okay.
So like it's all intertwined, right? So like if you have one friend, he's got other friends. Like I don't know about you, but like I don't have friends with just one friend. Like it's just me and them.
They bring
like,
an associate.
Yeah,
or
we all have
whatever.
associated people, right?
And then suddenly he doesn't rub with your vibe.
Right. And like my wife had her friends that I didn't really rub with them very well, whatever the case may be. But instead of focusing on all the bad shit that everyone always does, they make it even worse. And it ruins your whole night, your week. Next time you go, is Bobby coming? Yeah, okay, I don't want Bobby to come.
That's right.
How can we get rid of him? How can we not include him? And one guy's like, well, I cannot not include him because, it's not cool. And,
of course.
and all that stuff. So either...
Do you take yourself out of the situation, or do you try to correct the situation?
Well, listen, you have a choice you're going to spend your time with, right? So at the end here, you can choose to be with that person and take its negativity, or you can choose to be with the people around you that's going to bring you up. It's going to talk about things that make sense, that things that are talking about things that are viable. And it's like anything. If a window is completely clean, there's one speck of dirt, and you concentrate on the speck of dirt, the window's dirty, even though the window's not dirty, right? Or if you have a beautiful green lawn and you see one yellow patch, you focus on the yellow patch, the whole grass is... So whatever you focus on with good and love and attention is going to grow to being good, lovable, send you love back, and it'll grow with pleasure and joy. And I think at the end of the day here, it's not just necessarily being joyous all the time because it's impossible, because life is a lot of suffering. It's about being able to take the suffering and find peace at the end of it, where you still feel whole and you still feel energized and authentic. You can still be the person that you're made to be without having to worry about other people's opinions.
In our last episode, you said that there is a lot of people who just live on chaos. They live it. They need it. They can't live without it. They need the clutter in their life, the drama. They need it. It's part of who they are. I always look at the situation. I say to myself, for example, I know someone close to me that deals with negative drama and very not great people daily. And they go to this person to vent. Now, Roy, my stance on that is I tell them, you got to take yourself out of that equation. No matter how much these people look to you for help, you got to take yourself, because they're not serving your purpose anymore. What would you do in a situation like that?
Somebody comes to me just to vent?
but it's always not just a vent. They're in your inner circle. Let me explain. Actually, let me make it better. Let's say it was your sister. Do you have a sister?
I do.
Let's say it was your sister, and it was constantly, daily, and it wasn't necessarily about you. It's never about you, but it's about everything around her and everybody around her. At one point, would you say to yourself, "Look, you're like messing with my chakra here. You're like, it's too much. It's just too much. I can't live like this no more." Is that killing your joy? Do you put a stance on it, or do you become Roy, Mr. Integrity Project, and you just listen?
First of all, I set my boundaries with them. Right? So boundary is, hey, Stefano, I appreciate you want to talk about this. My question to you is, are you looking for closure? Are you looking for advice? Or are you looking just to vent? Because if you're looking just to vent and just talk about this thing and you're not looking for anything else, I'm not your person anymore. Because you're ruining my vibe. Right? But if you're really looking for clarity, honesty, and you want me to give it to you as it is, I'll be more than happy to listen and give you what I think.
As long as they're trying to take from it. Like they're trying to learn
as long as you're trying to like make the situation better.
Okay, good.
Like I have a problem with my husband. He's short, he's this, that, the other thing, and he just wants to vent that, and then you're looking for something like, hey, how can I make the situation better? That's one thing. But if you're looking just for a place to spew shit and you want me to come with you and be like, yeah, you're right, that person's a dick, is an asshole, this, that, the other thing, then I'm just not the person for you.
So you're setting boundaries.
You have to set boundaries. The problem is nobody sets boundaries, and it robs you of joy. People think setting boundaries, I'm not saying set barriers. Barriers are different. Barriers are like, people can't get in. But set a boundary of what you want to talk about, how long you want to talk about it for, and whether or not we're doing this in order to create a solution, right? Because most people already know what the solution is, but they don't want to hear it. What they want to hear is the sympathy somebody else has for them. Oh, you're right. That person's a dick. Da la la la. Blah 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 blah. They want you to basically.
He's just. I want to start biting on a bone right now.
I know. They just want somebody to tell them that they're right. Right. They want to validate their feelings.
And your response to that is, I'm not going to do that.
I'm not going to validate I'm not going to validate your emotions or your experience. What I'm going to do is I'm going to validate the situation and tell you the truth. So it might be, hey, listen, you know what? That person's not your friend. And you know what? At the end here, there's only so much anybody can take. But they want the validation because they want to stay in their suffering. Because that's how they identify themselves as. So if someone is looking to rob your joy by talking bad about other people, putting you down or whatever, do yourself a favor. Set your boundary. I'm not talking about this. I'm not. I don't need to talk about this. I don't want to hear about Amelia's problems and how whatever and what. I don't want to hear it. I like Amelia. I respect Amelia. We're friends. I don't want you to come to me and talk about stuff like that.
That's right. If you have a problem, go deal with it.
Go to them directly.
Go directly. Exactly. Just hash it out.
I think most people, like I said, unspoken expectations is premeditated resentment.
Ooh, that's a big one.
So if I don't tell you what my expectations are, what my boundaries are, what ends up happening in my mind, then I'm like, this guy's a fucking dick. Like, I don't want, like, no. And every time they come to you, get goosebumps. You're like, oh, your stomach's at a turn. Like, oh, here we go. Part of finding joy and putting your energy joy is setting your boundaries. Setting your boundaries, how you talk about people, what you talk about, how you see your life. I get it. And like, you know what? I can look outside and there's tons of snow, which does not bring me much joy. But the sun is shining. I took my dog for a walk, and that was brought me joy. I'm not going to worry about the things I can't control.
Beautiful.
So whether it's work, business, focus on the good things. You know what? Not everything needs your attention. And 90% of problems resolve themselves. So you don't need to be putting yourself in there, robbing yourself of joy and energy just because.
Mr. Roy Coachello.
I'm not sure exactly that's the way I wanted to go, but hey, it worked out perfectly the way perfect.
So before we go, I was looking at your notes here, and you know what? It's a lot about spiritual gratitude, attraction, authenticity. I get it. I don't know if that's exactly what joy is. I think what we talked about right now is exactly what the robbing of joy. Like everyone has joy.
We have moments of joy, and a lot of people, like you talked about the Gucci purses.
That's right.
That's not joy. That's temporary pleasure when you buy stuff like that. If you need material things to make you feel good, those are just temporary pleasures. Joy comes whether or not you have a Gucci purse or not. What you have is you have the people that love you and you feel whole already. There's nothing wrong with getting a Gucci purse. I think it's great. If it's something you love and it makes you feel good carrying it around, and it makes you feel more like you when you're carrying it around, hey man, go for it. You know, if you
don't make that the center of your attention and center of your life.
I think everybody should have at least one like designer thing they love to wear, like your Hugo Boss sweatshirt.
Sure.
Right? Like one designer suit. Like everybody should have really nice something when they walk out there, they feel like $1 million.
But I do feel like $1 million. Let's clarity to that. I do feel like $1 million. You know what I almost feel like when I wear something like this, even though it is a materialistic thing with a brand and all that, I feel like I am working hard and I am being successful.
You should always treat yourself to something when you accomplish something.
Ah, there it is.
So for example, Rolex watches, like everyone wants a Rolex watch. Hey man, if you bust your ass and you hit a certain goal,
sure,
go ahead and buy yourself a Rolex. But don't go buy yourself a Rolex and then resent the fact because you got to put on your credit card and you're trying to pay off. It's like, so you say like, hey, listen, if I save 20 grand,
sure,
I can go buy myself my Rolex. By all means, you should treat yourself when you accomplish things. It's very important because if you're never going to treat yourself to things when you then what are you working for?
Ah, there it is. See, the joys in life, man.
If that brings you joy and that's going to make you fulfill, do it. But don't be focusing on, I want a Rolex watch, but then you're like, I hate this Timex that I have. And you're like, Like, understand that whatever you have in your life, wherever you are, focus on the things that bring you the most fulfillment, that puts a smile on your face. Because not every day is going to be, listen, life is about suffering. Don't get me wrong. We are built to suffer because if we didn't suffer and everything was good, we would never grow as human beings. We would never have anything to push us to change our lives, to evolve, to become a better human being, to create more, to serve more, right? Because if everything is fine and dandy,
sure,
right?
Sure.
And a good example is like if you're born in the royal prince of Arabia, Saudi Arabia's family, for you to have a Lamborghini doesn't mean shit. For you to have $100 million doesn't mean anything because you already have that. So your joys could come from something else. And if you don't start becoming creative in your life and giving love to your creations you want to create, it's never going to come true. It's never going to be fulfilled. The universe is reactionary. Okay? So you make a move and it reacts to the move you make. So if your move is about joy, love, abundance, then the universe is going to react that way. If it's about resentment, lack, hatred, and poor me kind of attitude, then guess what? The universe is going to give you more of that. That's what it's going to be reacting to. So remember, what you start with is what you end up with.
Got it. Mr. Roy Cocholo, at that camera, what brings me joy is telling everyone where they can find you.
Well, you can find us at the Integrity Project on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
You can find us at the Integrity Project on Spotify, and you can also find us on social media, RC Truth Academy on Instagram.
And then if they really want to get a hold of you personally, they could just search up.
You know what? You can search me at Roy Cocholo. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn. You just find me, and if you need me or you want to give me a call, but by all means, reach out. I'll be more than happy to talk to you.
And again, another heads up: we have a very special podcast coming up.
Yes, it'll be probably April. We're gonna have a very special 4-part series.
That's right, and they don't want to miss that one.
We don't want to miss that one for sure.
Until next time, Roy.
Thank you very much, Stefano.